Hey, this is Carl, and welcome to this monthly episode of Statues I Wish I Can Afford. So stay tuned. So for the guys who are new here, I will be sharing pieces that I am currently interested in this month. Interested doesn't mean I'm going to pre-order them though. And next, I will be sharing pieces that I have passed on the pre-order. And lastly, pieces that I did pre-order or paid for the follow-up payments. Also, I will be sharing my thoughts on these statues, on why I am interested in them or why I did pass on them. And next, you will also be able to see which pieces that I will be receiving soon and most likely be reviewed afterwards. So without further ado, let's start. First is this Superman that I most likely will pre-order based on the portraits alone. Anyway, let's talk about the classic blue-red version of this Superman first. Sculpt is pretty good. I know he's a bit muscular, but that's the way the studio does it, and it's kinda like their signature at this point. This is kinda what a lot of Quater Scale DC collectors are dreaming of. A 1/4 version of Prime 1's Hush Superman, with a bonus of Henry Cavill's portrait. I remember suggesting this to the commissioner, the Henry portrait, and I'm so glad that he listened. Anyway, next is we talk about the black version, and the one I am very interested in. Look at that mean Cavill portrait. It really did capture the moment in the movie where he used his eye beams to hit, I think, Wonder Woman, I'm not sure. Also, the black Superman has a different base and flow of the cape from the classic blue-red version. Although, both of these pieces has a different Henry Cavill portrait, it's still rocking a comic outfit. Next is this pretty cool Cyclops. It's been a while since I actually appreciated a Cyclops statue. And this is it. Sculpt is pretty spot on. I love the balance of textures on the suit. That means his suit is not fully textured. There are still some spots where it's clean, which I like. In this case, there's only a small spot with textures. I think the only thing that bugs me in this statue is the size of Sentinel's head. I know it's accurate in some cases, but I still prefer the Sentinel head to be bigger. Bigger is always better, right? Anyway, but besides that, this piece is still pretty amazing. Next is this Deadpool, and it comes also with a X-Force version. I really love the flow of Deadpool here. The way he slides on that thing is so smooth. It's kinda like the statue is moving. Sculpt is also pretty amazing. Couldn't expect less from this studio actually. Next is this Venom. I like how big Venom is here. It's like the perfect balance for me. I also love the textures and details on this piece. I think if this was rendered differently, they could have made the textures and details pop more or highlight them more. Anyway, I think I'm just going to wait for the prototype before I decide if I do actually want to pre-order this Venom. Next is this Galactus, which has a very similar pose to the one that I pre-ordered a few months ago. In case you're wondering, everything is good with the commissioners. I still consider this Galactus pretty good, and is a better choice actually than the Sideshow Galactus, which is very, very small, especially when you put him next to Sideshow Silver Surfer. Next are statues that I have passed on the pre-order this month, or no longer interested in. First is this museum type Darkseid. Originally, I was very interested in this piece because I do want a Darkseid statue. but it's kinda a bit more expensive for me. But I still think the piece is pretty good, and definitely one of the best Darkseid around. Although this is probably 1 3/5 scale, which kinda justifies the price, I think. Next is this Magik with the Anya Taylor-Joy portrait. Although I was originally very interested in this piece, I just had to pass because there were a lot of follow-up payments this month, and I think I actually pre-ordered one statue, not sure. And I also kinda wish the base was a bit different and more interesting, so I'd be kicking myself if I don't pre-order it. Anyway, scope is pretty good, especially on the portraits. I'll just wait and see what the prototype looks like. Next is this Clown or Violator piece. I originally wanted to pre-order this to kick off a spawn line of collecting so I can branch out, but just decided not to and just to stay off the line for now. Maybe when my current Marvel lines are almost complete, I'd venture to other lines of collecting. Next is this brown Wolverine. I actually pre-ordered the blue-yellow version of this Wolverine, but it kinda looks too similar for me, and I actually already pre-ordered a different brown Wolverine, which I am very excited for actually. And so I'm not sure if I wanna own two of these Wolverines, but the sculpt is still pretty damn cool on this piece. I really love how muscular Wolverine is here. Next are pieces that I did pre-order or paid for the follow-up payment. First is this Hawkeye. I've paid the final payment and shipping for this piece, and I can't wait to receive it and finally kick off my Avengers collection. Next is this King Thor statue. And this is actually my first FOMO or fear of missing out pre-order. But no regrets here. Sculpt and paint is pretty good in this piece. I'm just hoping that they captured or perfected the snow effect on the piece. And I'm actually collecting Asgardian characters now, so this piece kinda make a lot of sense now. Next is I paid for the follow-up payment for this Onslaught. This is going to be part of my Magneto collection. I'm trying to get one of each variant for the collection, so this is kinda a must-have for me. The piece is kinda moving slow, currently just printed I think, but pretty sure prototype reveal will be this year. Lastly is I was finally able to do a late pre-order for this Berserk Wolverine. I passed on this back then, but lately decided that I do actually like it and would love to pair it next to my X-Force Wolverine diorama, since this is also a diorama. I think both have different scales, and I'm hoping that it won't be much of a difference. Still, this Berserk Wolverine is pretty good, and I have high hopes for it, since I've already seen the prototype, and this is the prototype. So that's the end of the episode. What do you guys think of the pieces mentioned in the video? Tell me down in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you again next week. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this.